Alright guys, welcome to another episode of the Ragnamod VII series. We are on episode 11, and as you can see behind me, I got a casing automation factory being built. So hopefully this is a schematic I downloaded off of the interwebs, and hopefully, hey, let's check out this guy's trades. Oh no, where'd he go? Anyways, as this is being built, I don't know if this works or how it's supposed to be used yet. I really don't understand at all, but I just downloaded this off the interwebs. We're going to have to probably replace that sucker and probably maybe a few other little, if there are item vaults, which there should be more than just that one. But yeah, hopefully I can figure out how to get this sucker up and running, and we can just create an automatic little casing setup here. Actually, I don't even know if we need this. This feels like a bit overkill. I'm going to be completely honest. Because if we take a look at the casings, we just need stripped logs and... Oh. Yeah. This is definitely a bit overkill, considering we have everything else automated. So we don't even need this. Forget that. Forget that even exists. So anyways, we're just going to set up, I think, a bunch of deployer lines, like right here. We're going to set up like 4 of them with each with a different casing. So we'll have like andesite, brass, copper, and train. And I think that's all the casings that we really need. Andesite, copper, shadow, radiant. Yeah, but we don't have any shadow or radiant yet, so we haven't really automated that, nor is that actually used for anything. So we don't even need to automate it. What is creative casing used for? What is that even used for? Encased? Creative casing uses. Creative, what is that? What does it do? Does it just look creative? I think it's just the textures that make it look like it's creative. Anyways, I've gotten sidetracked. So we'll just build like little lines here. I'll tear down that sucker down there in a minute, but we'll just build lines here. And that way we'll have like automatic casing. Okay, so for these casings, I'm setting up a saw right now. I figure I'll bring y'all in for this. You need just go ahead and strip your log with your axe, and that way you can just set a filter for what the saw is going to be making. And then we can just come down here and then literally make a pattern for this. We use it with this, boom, boom, boom. And then we have ourselves a pattern for the actual stripped oak log. And then you can just take it over here, put it in the crafter, and now we should be able to get stripped oak logs pretty easy. So if I want to craft like a stack real quick, I should just be able to, and it should just boom, 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 boom. There we go, baby. And we got a bunch of stripped logs just coming in, and this is the beginnings of my setup for that. Anyways, I'm going to continue going. All right, guys. So the casing machine is already ready to go. I mean, it's crafting the andesite casing, as you can see. We just requested a stack of that. Everything's all set up. All the patterns are set up. The exporters are exporting all these items. They have crafting and speed upgrades, so they shouldn't run out of anything. Yeah, this is working out pretty well. So we finally have automated casings. Let's freaking go. And then I think now that that's done, we need to get the polished rose quartz automated, and blackstone, and then these things. And that's probably the other things we're going to do in this episode. And then we'll be all set. And I'm going to just AFK, and we can gather a bunch of resources and start prepping them for the mega food area. So in my meantime, I took the liberty of turning our chest into drawers and getting this place cleaned up a little bit. Not very much though. I got it cleaned up just a little bit. I was having some issues with like the thing not requesting very well, but I figured out it was the issues with the chunks loading. So what I did was in all my areas, instead of using FTB, I placed those little chunk loader things from chicken chunks or whatever. If we do this real quick, we can see it. It's this thing. And it seems to be working pretty well, and I'm having no issues with the chunk loading. But yeah. So I got the drawer set up, and I just have it requesting 128 of each of the freaking casings. Sorry, I lost the word there. But now we're going to do the rose quartz automation. So I'm going to kind of do the same setup I have here, which is just a deployer, 2 shafts, a belt, and then we're going to have a drawer. We're going to put this sandpaper, eternal sandpaper, because we crafted it. We crafted this with the eternal stella. Get the eternal sandpaper. And I guess you can use... No, that's just any sand. Sorry. But yeah, all we did was craft it with the eternal stella from Forbidden Arcanus. So then that is all set up. And then we just got to throw a crafter on there real quick and turn it around. If we can get it right. There it goes. And put a funnel on there. And we're going to go get a recipe set up for the rose quartz. I don't know why I'm stumbling so hard. So we need the fluorite and the redstone, and then the polished rose quartz. So it'd be this one. Is there a way to automate fluorite? Because we might need to look into that. I think it's just the chicken is the only way to automate it, really. So we might have to look into one of those later. But uh-oh, I missed that freaking elevator. So I don't have my jetpack on. Could use a jetpack because we now have a jetpack. But yeah, so we're gonna throw this recipe in there, and then we're gonna come down here, and I think I have enough, probably more than enough fluorite for right now. But it's on 4. Oh, it does. Okay, so we have plenty of fluorite. And you get a lot from the fortune flower. Oh no, I have 2,000 fluorite almost. But yeah, so that's rose quartz automated. So if we come in here and we want to request like some rose quartz, we're gonna craft like, yeah, let's just do 60. Why not? Let's see if it's working. Like, it appears as though it broke our sandpaper, even though it was eternal.
And that's a good one to do it. Right.
Let's craft some more sandpaper, and let me get back to you guys on this real quick. Okay, guys. So I figured out the problem. I don't think the Eternal Stella works with sandpaper and create. It just immediately destroys it. So we're gonna try with this and just have it craft the diamond and sandpaper. This thing, which is just diamond dust, which comes from this, and we literally just put that in there with a crafting upgrade, and we're gonna go throw the recipes for this in here. And the diamond has really good durability, so it'll be okay, and we'll probably never need it. But yeah, so rose quartz is now basically automated. You still need to get the fluorite done, but the next step is going to be getting the blackstone over there done. And in order to do that, I wonder if it needs to be shaped. Like, we take a stack of blackstone to 2 stacks of gold nuggets. We take those over there and literally just boom, boom, boom. And then it needs lava which is okay. We have lava tank. Do I have an ender tank? I do. Okay, let me grab this real quick. And we'll get our lava set up, and then I'll be back.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we got it set up. It appears as though it does not need to be in a particular pattern. It just needs to be thrown in here. And it does take a minute for this thing to process, which is kind of unfortunate. But I guess it's okay. We'll fill up on lava before that thing is done. But yeah, all we need now is just a couple of importers and really just an importer and an exporter. If we get an importer, which we already have enough of, and an exporter, which we'll need to craft, we should just be able to get everything set up on this already because it's already over here. We'll just get automated blackstone or gilded blackstone for our new build, which will be nice. Definitely nice to have. So let's see, where do I want to throw these? Maybe one right here. Just flip it around. And then one right here. This will be the exporter. So that took the gilded blackstone in. This will be, we'll take the normal blackstone and we will put it in here. And then the gold nugget, we'll put that in here as well. And that should fill it up. Yep, it is. And then if we come over here, and do I have another? I don't have another drawer on me, unfortunately. But we're going to get another drawer. Just put it over here. Why not? Functional storage. You just need a drawer. And I'll get a gold upgrade. Actually, let's get a diamond upgrade. We'll get a diamond upgrade. And then we'll do a gilded. We already have 4 pieces, which is not the slowest thing, but it's definitely not the quickest. So we throw that in there, oh, wrong one. Bam. Throw that in there, that in there, and then boom. Set that up, and then boom. So we should have more than enough gilded blackstone now that we're getting that. So all of our gilded blackstone should show up over here. And yep, we're good to go. We also have been getting quite a lot of prismarine, which is definitely really good. But I don't know if we have enough for what we're going to need. So we're going to need a lot for our little thing. But yeah, so I'm glad we got all those set up. That didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would for this episode, but we got a few more other things we need to do this episode. But here's our prismarine, and it's going pretty well. But yeah, so I'm happy with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are now getting azurine, verdium, and ochre from create, and all of these are going to create a bunch of different resources. I think this creates zinc, gold, and copper respectively. Yeah, zinc, gold, and copper. So that's super good, and we need to smelt all of this stuff. And I imagine what we're gonna do is just send all of the raw stuff down here into the super smelter, and then just send it back into, well, I guess it would automatically go back into these. So yeah, I imagine what we'll do is we'll just put these into an ender chest, go ahead and send the nuggets straight over here, and then the other ones into an ender chest, and get that set up like that, and that should work fine. All right, so I think I've done it. I think I've got everything set up. So we have our azurine or whatever, and viridium and oricum being produced here. They're being piped out. put into a chest, and then put on a belt system that travels all the way down here to our original crusher setup that's for the tough. And then it gets crushed down into its raw crushed version and then filtered out onto this ender chest. As soon as it gets into that ender chest, it's going to go wash instead of smelt, actually. So we have the same ender chest down here pumping into this, and it's all getting washed. And why I decided to wash it was because you get more resources. So we can get like clay out of the copper, which I didn't have a farm for yet. So I figured, why not? I already technically have a gunpowder and quartz farm, so those weren't really necessary. But I went ahead and decided to do it anyway, just because it was easier. So that's all set up, and you still get the same 9 ingots. It's just all going into the compacting drawer, so it all works out. Anyways, but yeah, it's going pretty well. I think we're going to get a significantly larger portion of gold, copper, and zinc. And I went ahead and upgraded these drawers and put void upgrades on them because I figure, well, why not? You know. And then, yeah, so everything else seems to be working great. Actually, everything else seems to be working amazing. And it's all just pumping in this chest is pumping into here. And this is all just outputting onto the belt. We might get a backlog, actually, which would be kind of awesome. But that means we're having more resources produced than we can handle. All right, guys, we're going to set up changing our current XP setup into the create industry XP. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn 200 millibuckets of the fluid XP from mob grinding utils into the create enchantments industry one. Why? Don't know. Is it useful? Don't know, but we're going to do it anyways.
It can be used for one thing exactly.
What one thing can it be used for?
For making chickens.
Okay, so we're going to be using this to make chickens.
Yeah, the thing. It's used to make the. That's
Okay.
exactly the only purpose of what you're doing.
Okay. So Landon's going to get to use this to make chickens. So we need a nugget of experience.
Good.
So we need one of these things. And it can come from, I think you can use iron ore to, like, there it goes. Okay. So I think we can just grind it down and we get a 75% chance of getting a nugget. Maybe we just got really unlucky on that one. Let's see here. Let's see if we got the experience that we need. We did. Okay. So now we're going to take this and craft it like this. And then we're going to have a whole mixer set up for this. We're going to need another mixer in order to do this. So everything that we need is pretty simple to get. It's just a mixer, the XP, and this thing, and we need to route it back. So I'm going to gather everything we need real quick for this, and then I will come back and I'll show you how to set it up. Okay, to set this up, what we're going to do is we're going to take the fluid pipe from pipes, literally stick it right there, and then we're going to take one of these tanks that I already color-coded with the dye and stick it right there. And then we're going to change the direction to pull and put a huge upgrade in there so it goes like really fast. And now we're going to be extracting all of our XP from there. And I want to use a bunch of fluid tanks to store this and then also a fluid drawer. I think it looks cooler. So if we're going to create fluid, let's craft like a stack of these real quick. I don't know how long that's going to take, but it might take a minute. And then we're going to need functional storage. We're going to need probably, let's get like 2 diamond upgrades. I don't know. And then a fluid drawer. So we have one of those now. And then 2 diamonds upgrades should be plenty for this. But if we come back over to the factory, and just come up here real quick. Boom. And then we need to set this up somewhere. So we need to figure out where we want to put this. And I think maybe like right here will be good. But it's going to need a cog wheel. And in order for us to get a cog wheel on here and it not like look bad, it's gonna be an interesting feat. I think we're gonna need to work with some gearboxes probably. So let me figure this out real quick and then I'll come. All right, the power is set up and it's going pretty good. All we need to do now is probably place in a fluid pipe right here and then a tank right there. Set this to extract from the ender tank. And then we're going to put that upgrade in there. And then we want to drop that item in there. But I want to know if it'll just keep going. So it's making the liquid experience from the fluid XP. So let's see what it does from there. Because it should just... Let's see here. Yeah, that's actually working exactly, and the XP rotor stays in there just fine. So that means we can literally just leave that in there, and the XP rotor will just sit there while this thing processes all our stuff down, which is really good. So now we have a bunch of create XP, which Landon said can be used for chickens. Oh, for automating the chicken shell?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty useful. Is it really that useful?
It's the only thing it has a use.
It's the only thing that and hyper experience, but hyper experience is a more. It's just not really that worth it. Because that's literally just because we have apotheosis. If we didn't have apotheosis, hyper experience would be goated. But we have apotheosis, so it's basically cheating. But I want to get those fluid tanks real quick. And if y'all don't know how these fluid tanks work, they're pretty cool. They don't operate that much differently than normal tanks, but they're just kind of cool looking. In my personal opinion, I just broke that. Anyways, like if we create a 3x3 little cube here and literally go boom, 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 we have like this. Like there's so much XP in here. And then if that gets full, I'll place this down, or we'll actually stick this like probably right here, and I'll just set a pipe down. And once we run out of space in this tank, I'll turn this one on, and this one will have plenty of freaking storage. But maybe I'll throw a threshold switch on there for this pipe. That would probably be the coolest way, because that would keep this tank full and this tank like only used when necessary. But I'll do that later. So yeah, now we have the experience set up, and we'll get a pump, and so we'll need a fluid pump. Fluid pump. I didn't even spell that correctly. What about a pump? From create is a mechanical pump. Okay. We're gonna need this. Some pipe. Okay, we have the pipe now. And we're gonna turn this into a pump, and we're gonna need a hand crank and a cog. And crank. And we'll grab a cog from over here. Boom. And we can literally shower ourselves in experience. So if we put this down, we can just... And that goes up so much faster than if we were to do it the other way. Like this takes forever. But this is like super quick. So yeah, so that's our experience set up, and we will have a ton of experience by next time. And let's check on our goal. It's been about a day, and we have so much more stuff. At least I think that looks like it's way more than what it was. Everything seems to be working just as good. It's not even backlogging that bad. I thought it would backlog a lot more, but it seems to be running fine. I don't think there's any issues with it. And yeah, that's super good. I'm not entirely sure what we'll be doing next episode. So I'll find that. And look, we need to get up there. Oh, I don't even have to get up there. I can just throw it down there. But I'm not entirely sure what we'll be doing next episode. Probably getting started on material, like actual material prep for this farm that we want. And we might go, you know what? Let's go ahead and venture over to our little area where I want to put it. All right, guys. So I decided on this area as our farming district. And you might be like, oh, he's putting a farming district in a red sand desert. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it might not, but it looks cool. By the way, this is technically an oasis. So technically, it can farm. And also, our theme is like futuristic. So we can like transform it into a farming area, you know? But anyways, I'm going to put like a huge Parthenon, I think like right here. And we might have to do a bit of terraforming to make it look okay, because I think it's going to be significantly larger than this mountain, which is kind of rough. But I think we have enough to terraform this mountain just a hair. I think I might need to move it back just a little bit, but we'll look at the schematic in today's episode and we'll see how much it really is. But I don't imagine it'll be that bad. And I went ahead and put a little waypoint here so we can just easily travel back and forth. But the schematic that we're going to load into this world is going to cause a significant amount of lag, because it just will. I don't know what to tell you. It's just going to cause a significant amount of lag. This build is freaking huge for literally no reason. And we're going to do this and see how long it takes to load in on the schematic. It's going to take forever. But we need to go ahead and get a clipboard as well, which might be in my backpack. I seem to lose all of my clipboards, like, all the time. Like, all the time. But anyways, so we have a clipboard now, and we're going to take, as soon as that's done, we're going to take this with us. Oh, wrong thing. And, oh, I have too much stuff in my inventory. Oh, we need to dump a bunch of this create stuff as we don't need it anymore. And throw that in there. We're going to need that gunpowder. Oh, that's probably good. And then we'll take this, pick it up. We can put the schematic back in here. And then we'll have everything that we need for our little adventure. Let me throw this tank back in here as well. Oh, boom. And what was this? We probably don't need this here anymore either. Just a bit of cleanup. Why is that taking so long? It takes just as long. So we'll put that in there and there. Is this done yet? It's almost done, but I'll go over to the place to show y'all what it looks like. Okay, guys, so change of plans. I think this place is going to be too big, so I'm going to have to go redesign our little food farm area. It's not little at all. It's freaking massive. So I think I'm going to have to make it smaller or something, because it is gigantic. So I guess off camera, I'm going to go into a creative world and redesign it real quick. And then at the beginning of next episode, I'll show you kind of the design and the schematic for it, because like it's unbelievably huge and it really won't fit anywhere that I would like to fit it in, and it would stick out like a sore thumb. So I feel like it needs to be scaled down just a little bit. It's also freaking huge. Like, it would have been way too overkill anyways. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a creative world and just fix it, basically. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, hit the noti bell, and thank you all for watching.